Today's movie features the thirstiest Freddy Krueger clone in history.
I'm crazy about your body. I love your skin.
Welcome to Sick Flicks, where I take a deep dive into the cinematic sewer to help you embrace your inner gore geek. I'm Mike Bracken, aka the Horror Geek, and today we're tackling Claudio Fragasso's absolutely dreadful Night Killer. Released in 1990, Night Killer is essentially Fragasso's half-witted attempt to rip off A Nightmare on Elm Street. Although, in typical Italian fashion, it was marketed as a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel instead.
Il problema di questo film è di non aprire quella porta 3, che già il titolo non c'entra niente con Night Killer, che era il titolo originale.
All the usual suspects are here. Fragasso directing, wife Rosella Drudi on screenwriting duty, and venerable collaborator Bruno Mattei called in after the fact to add gore, much to Fragasso's chagrin.
Completamente rovinata nelle sequenze che poi ha girato Bruno, perché è tutto un altro mondo. Quello era il mio...
It's a perfect equation for creating a terrible movie, and believe me, Night Killer is a terrible movie. Arguably the worst thing I've ever covered on Sick Flicks.
I'm Little Red Riding Hood and you're the big, bad wolf.
So, apologies in advance for what I'm about to make you sit through.
Nothing does it to me like fried chicken.
Fragasso didn't feel that way, though. I mean, listen to this.
E lì ero convinto di essere più autore, no?
At any rate, directorial hubris aside, is Night Killer splattery? Let's get to the gore and find out. We fade in on these people at seizure practice. Wait a minute, were these the rehearsals for Stage Fright? Nothing says hip 90s movie like a bunch of white people doing the Running Man. I hope they close with the Kid and Play kick step. Okay, this might be the worst dancing in Sick Flicks history. These people make Europe's solid gold dancers in Nightmare City look like the Bolshoi Ballet. Then Budget Blair from The Facts of Life shows up.
I know, there was so much traffic and I couldn't find a taxi and...
Whoa, what's up with that voice? Sounds like she's been snacking on a lot of Trenbolone sandwiches after her workouts, if you know what I mean. Look, I'm sorry I'm late, but Tootie was hogging the bathroom again. They don't call her Tootie for nothing, you know. Don't worry, while she's off to get ready, seizure rehearsal is continuing.
Okay, this time with energy!
And maybe some rhythm. I mean, if it's not too much trouble. Jesus, no wonder she was late. The dressing room is like 8 miles from the rehearsal area. Oh hey, it's Kelly Kapowski. Back upstairs, Blair's being stalked by this hand model. These lead press-on nails look fantastic. She's all set to go downstairs, but she's got a guest. Oh hey, it's me, Fredo Krueger. No, not Freddy, Fredo, I'm Italiano. I guess this is also the Night Killer of the title. Is this gonna be another bait and switch like Massacre in Dinosaur Valley? He killed a woman, not the night. Back downstairs, they're still working on their spasms. The choreographer heads upstairs to find Blair, but instead finds Budget Freddy.
This is really the last time.
Seriously, this is like what you get when you order a Freddy Halloween mask on Wish.com. I mean, Christ, Nightmare Freddy looks better than this. Anyway, he's like, "Slice to see you," and cuts her throat. Somehow she runs off, but Fredo's in hot pursuit. Did you just see that? That thing with his rubber hand flopping around? Good to see they went all in on the effects budget here. She's still running, and it all makes sense now, because if you look closely, you'll see her throat slash is magically healed. Hooray for continuity. But hey, at least the dancers finally got it together. I know I said I'd like you to nail this routine sometime before I die, just didn't realize it was going to be this afternoon. Also, shouldn't he be killing her at night? Then Budget Baraka shows up and basically hits her with Kano's fatality. Say what you will about our dance choreographer, but the chick sure knew how to make an entrance. And with 2 people dead in 8 minutes, it's time to slow things down with the always appreciated house establishing shot. I don't know why they marketed this as a Texas Chainsaw sequel. It's got Sam's Club Freddy in it, and they could have just called it Nightmare on Killer Street. Anyway, after some credits, this guy shows up. He's come bearing gifts. Sure hope it's not a dick in a box. Also, sure hope PrudeTube doesn't demonetize me over this joke. After that, it's time for a leisurely stroll through the credits with this weird Seinfeld music. I hope Jerry and the gang are in this movie somewhere. Oh look, it's makeup effects by Franco Di Girolamo! Girolamo. Man, this channel is the gift that keeps on giving. Kinda like an STD. Directed by Clyde Anderson, better known as Claudio Fragasso. After the credits end, we jump back to the little girl's mom. Apparently, she's still hard at work on the script for this movie. I mean, this is a Claudio Fragasso film. It's amazing they even had a script. She's interrupted by this phone call. "Hi, Rosella? It's Claudio. Could you write faster? I need new pages. We're watching you write to kill time." Then look at this acting.
Listen! I don't have anything to say to you except don't call me anymore!
To be fair, this is how I respond whenever I get a call asking about my car's extended warranty. Back at home, Melanie does what any woman does after a fight with her boyfriend. She gives herself a home breast exam. Never change, Claudio Fragasso. This mammography is interrupted when the phone rings again.
Just made to be fucked senseless.
She's so crazy, she's like, "Go on."
I won't kill you straight away.
He's a real charmer.
First, I'm going to fuck your brains out.
To be fair, this might be a challenge. We haven't established that Melanie actually has any brains yet. And since we've got time to kill, let's just hold on this close-up of her face for a while. Hold it. Hold it. Hold the line. And done. That's like 10 less seconds we have to fill with plot. Jesus, is she on the phone again? They might as well have called this Telephone, the movie. Turns out she's calling the cops, and it turns into this masterclass in acting.
Was it an obscene phone call?
Yes.
Did he threaten you?
Yes.
Really, this is riveting.
I have 2 lines.
Look, just give me both numbers. That way it'll be easier for me to obscene call you. I mean, to call to check up on you later. I think he's just pretending to be on the phone. Is that cord taped to the receiver? After that, she locks herself in. Well, I guess I did my breast exam already. Might as well smoke. But look out, Freddy Krueger is already inside the house. He can't even pick up the keys like a normal person. How on earth does he get his pants down to pee with those things? And since it's been like 2 minutes, I guess we're overdue for another scene with a phone call.
Hello?
Wait, Budget Freddy's making the pervy calls?
I can't wait 5 minutes, Mrs. Beck. I'm too horny.
When did this turn into a wet dream on Elm Street? Also, I could have gladly lived my entire life and died happy without hearing an Italian Freddy Krueger ripoff utter the lines, "I'm too horny." Guess this is another instance where the calls are coming from inside the house. Convenient she had 2 lines and all that. Fredo wants to use her as the guinea pig for his new line of manscaping products, but she's like, no dice. No! Too bad for her, she's basically Tawny Katane in Witchboard, locked in her own house. Unlocking doors is hard.
I love your skin, your breasts, the way you smell.
Man, this really is the thirstiest Freddy ever. Too bad for him, he's not the only one packing heat here. Melanie's got a gun. She blasts him, but surprise, he's not dead.
No! You're dead!
I was pretending.
I'm not here to shame anyone for their peccadillos, but these two are into some weird roleplay.
It's all part of the game. Now the fun's about to start.
And since that was all coming to a head, it totally makes sense to cut to another scene, right? Over here, we get some exposition from these guys who look like they wandered in from an Italian Lethal Weapon knockoff.
Yes, she did see his face, but the trauma has completely erased it from her memory. She doesn't remember anything.
Wait, it's more like Urkel and Sir Davos, the Family Matters / Game of Thrones crossover you never knew you needed. And then the scene ends, except no one told Urkel. Oh hey, remember the little girl from earlier? She's still in this movie. Also, guess we're just gonna ignore that this guy now has a band-aid on his face for some reason. Inside the room, we're treated to some scintillating dialogue.
Hi. Hey. How are you? Fine.
It's really like this movie's not even trying. Fragosso's like, damn it, I gotta fill 90 minutes somehow. She heads out, and Jesus, is Walmart brand Sir Davos making his move? Ever hear a personal spaceman? Also, if he tells her he's horny, this review is over. Oh hey, guess they're gonna explain that band-aid after all. Italian Jefferson Darcy here saved her. What a hero.
I'm the guy who saved her. That filthy animal left this little scratch for me to remember him by.
And if you were operating under the assumption he's her ex-husband, guess again.
And Mr. Beck has not been seen around here since the incident?
Fist happy drunk. No one's seen him in God knows how long.
Look at his face. He's like, Christ, here we go again. Over in another movie, Melanie's accosted by this guy in a Jeep, but she gives him the slip. Hey, wait a minute. They went down a street that had a dead-end sign. How the hell did they end up downtown? Oh, but wait. The spatial relations get even worse. Here our cat caller is at the front desk. In the next cut, he's clearly in a restroom. Does this establishment have a front desk in the ladies' room or what? And now Melanie's gone all Ms. 45.
Looking for me?
Only that's a 38. And now suddenly they're nowhere near the front desk. Nice work, Claudio Fragasso.
You always try to make friends in the ladies' bathroom?
Well, you gotta admit, there's less competition in here.
Take off your pants.
This is a little more wild than what I had in mind, but I like where this is headed.
Throw them in the toilet.
What?
Do it! Now flush it.
Flush it?
Flush it!
Man, first the Freddy Krueger roleplay, now the plumber roleplay. She's into some weird shit. Axel's totally into it, though. Looks like your pipe is clogged. I'm gonna have to snake it out.
Hell yeah.
With his clothes circling the drain, he heads back to the lobby in his Speedo. Hey, which way to the pool? Gotta get my laps in.
Hey, bud, what happened to your clothes?
I got molested in the little boy's room.
Or you could just say that. Jesus, this movie is weird. And I guess he's now part of the movie. Fragasso's like, gotta fill more time. Let's see where this guy goes. Melanie, meanwhile, is at the beach, because again, the laws of time and space do not apply to this movie, apparently. She's out here doing a little day drinking. He finds her and wants her to drink seawater so she'll Ralph up the pills she took. Or maybe he's just drowning her. I mean, it could go either way. Remember when Thirsty Freddy was in this movie? I never thought I'd say this, but I kinda wish we could get back to that. Don't get attached to this story because we're on the move again. This time we're in some weird art studio. I need a scorecard to keep track of all this movie's locations. Turns out this is Fredo's place, and he's brought his hot date over to recreate that scene from Ghost. Do you kids even remember Ghost? Christ, I'm old. The good news is Fredo's still creepy.
I have a big present for you.
I call it my magic paintbrush. Man, this is really going to turn into the X-rated version of A Nightmare on Elm Street at this rate.
I'm Little Red Riding Hood and you're the big, bad wolf.
Remember when I said I wanted Thirsty Freddy back? Yeah, I changed my mind. Then things get really weird. Clearly, he has a milk fetish. I don't think this is what she had in mind when he told her he was going to give her a dose of vitamin D. Oh, sweet. She's glazed. Glazed. If you're wondering where Melanie is, she's over here with Axel. But maybe he's okay. He brought KFC.
Fried chicken and french fries.
I wonder if they paid for the product placement. I also wonder if they asked for a refund if they did.
Surrender. A gun. Barbiturates.
It's really hard to believe someone wrote these lines.
It's a free country. Anybody who wants to kill themselves has the right to.
Then things get weird. I mean, that seems to be a recurring theme.
I'm gonna eat. Nothing does it to me like fried chicken.
Okay, this is hands down the worst movie we've ever done on this show. Like, this is a monument to ineptitude. If you were thinking, hey, you know what this movie needs? More random characters, well, you're in luck.
Don't worry, Frank, I'll lock up. But first, I want to check the overflow valve.
But we know this lady's a serious scientist because she's wearing glasses and a lab coat. Ah, yes, my new water fountain seems to be working perfectly. Too bad for her, she doesn't have time to marvel at the beauty of her work, because Fredo is here. He attacks her and she flees. Shoes off, shoes on. Continuity is hard. Save me, Aquaman! And glasses off, glasses on. Jesus Christ, Claudio Fragasso. Although maybe we blame this one on Mattei since he came in for the added gore. Also, how do you punch through a torso with a rubber glove? Back at Axel's place, he's gonna tie Melanie up for some sexy time. She's pretty nonplussed. I mean, this is pretty vanilla after you've made out with bargain bin Freddy Krueger. Well, looks like it's going great.
Pretty please.
Untie me, you asshole.
Then he gives her a taste of his pimp hand.
No cussing.
At this point, I'm not sure which movie is worse, this one or The Sexy Misadventures of Deviant Freddy Krueger. Later on, Melanie's making herself pretty. Good lord, I sure hope she doesn't pull a Linnea Quigley with that lipstick. And because we still need to kill 30 minutes, we might as well check in on Melanie's daughter. Because, yeah, she's been vital to the plot so far. I will say, I wonder whatever happened to that present from the start of the movie. Anyway, the hotel manager spots this misspelled headline and calls the grammar cops.
Police.
Then Detective Urkel shows up and they have a bad acting showdown.
Want a reward? I'll give you 10 seconds to get the fuck out of here. I'll rearrange that rat face of yours. You understand?
Sure, right. Anything you say.
Axel incapacitates Urkel, but don't worry, because Members Mark Ted McGinley is going to do his best Death Wish impression.
Now I'm going to go out there, I'm going to find that murdering bastard, and I'm going to plug him one right between the eyes.
And just when you think the terrible acting has peaked, here comes the kid.
You're not my mommy.
While Axel's calling the cops, Melanie makes a break for it. She runs about as well as she acts. Then Ted McGinley finds her. What luck. I mean, I'm sort of sad to see this riveting chase scene end, but at least we got this amazing payoff.
No! No!
Ted takes her back to her place. Sure, let's just watch them get out of the car and walk to the door in real time. I mean, these last 16 minutes aren't just going to fill themselves. Look, have you guys figured this out yet? Ted here is totally the killer.
It's all part of the game. Now it's all out in the open.
Told you. He's trying to get her to kill herself, but she goes all Condoleezza Slice on him and cuts his face.
Now!
Back in the present, she might even be crazier than he is.
I've been waiting for you to come back to me.
Except this is all a ploy so she can grab the switchblade and then she stabs him right in the junk. His wife is going to be pissed that they can't have kids after this homemade vasectomy. I guess the good news is he doesn't have the balls to tell her. Unfortunately, Melanie's brought a knife to a gunfight, but here comes Axel's stunt double to save the day. Axel, the guy who wandered into the ladies' room to hit on her, tied her to the bed, and smacked her around, is the hero of this movie. Makes perfect sense. Then he exterminates Teddy Krueger with extreme prejudice. How are there still 5 minutes left in this movie? Oh, so we can learn that Axel is actually Melanie's missing husband, because that was super important. But wait, we're gonna get a payoff on that present finally. Maybe this will redeem the movie. Please be Gwyneth Paltrow's head. Please be Gwyneth Paltrow's head. We're gonna open it in slow-mo because, you know, gotta pad the runtime. Aw man, it's just this crappy knockoff Freddy Krueger mask from Spirit Halloween. And Claudio Fragasso clearly saw Halloween 4.
Do you recognize me, Miss Stick? I'm back.
Damn you, Claudio Fragasso. Damn you. So, I'm gonna apologize again for Night Killer. Literally the worst movie we've ever covered on Sick Flicks. Word is stars Peter Hooton and Tara Buckman didn't get along during the production, probably because of the fierce competition to determine who was the worst actor. If Night Killer feels sort of like two films, it's because it is. Fragasso wanted to make a psychological thriller. Yeah, right. But Mattei was called in later to add gore scenes to appease the producers. It doesn't matter. The gore can't save this mess, and Mattei stuff didn't ruin Fragasso's psychological thriller. Night Killer was going to be a bad film regardless. But really, that's the duo's calling card. Bad movies. But can Night Killer dream up enough splatter to earn a respectable rating? Let's go to the gore card. In terms of gross anatomy, Night Killer disappoints. Mattei's added gore scenes spice things up, despite their total implausibility and ineptitude, but they're also all the same basic scene. The first time Fredo rams his rubber glove through a torso is mildly entertaining, the next few times are essentially the same as the first. As such, we're treated to multiple gut punches, and that's it. The effect isn't terrible, but there's not enough gore or variety here to give Night Killer more than 2 barf bags. This is not a particularly sick flick, and it's definitely not a good one. If you're looking for a more entertaining outing from this duo, check out my review of Hell of the Living Dead. You'll find a link here on the screen. I'll meet you over there. Oh, and quick thanks to my new patrons, Nate Malice, Dylan McKellar, and JB. Want to support the channel? You'll find a Patreon link in the pinned comment and the description. Until next time, I'm Mike Bracken, aka The Horror Geek, bringing you all the splatter that matters. The Family Matters / Game of Thrones crossover you never know you... words are hard. Don't worry, while she's off to get ready, seizure rehearsal... Use your words, Mike.